De Bruyne is an exceptional player. The amount of ground he covers, number one, the amount of times he breaks up play from the opposition, even deep in his own half. But his greatest asset is when he's on the ball and going forward and delivering chances, creating goal-scoring opportunities, gaining assists for his side, and his appreciation of when and where to pass and the weight and flight of the ball, for me, is exceptional. If you take the Liverpool side that are tearing away with the league this season, if you said, well, okay, who could we take from another side and would get into that Liverpool team? For me, De Bruyne would. He's an exceptional player.
In agreement there, Shay?
Yeah, I mean, last year I think it was Van Dijk and De Bruyne was up for the Players' Player of the Season, and you could have tossed a coin. Basically, they were both had fantastic seasons, and people say you pay money to watch a player play. People talk about Lionel Messi and Ronaldo, maybe some of the best players in the world. But for me, De Bruyne, what he does on a football pitch, and as Gary talks about his vision, and some of the times you see him just drifting into that right side of position, and Aguero and Jesus and even Sterling from the opposite wing, they know the ball's coming in. De Bruyne doesn't even have to look, and the players just make the runs. And how many assists does he get in a season is just phenomenal. And my only concern with Man City head on is if this Champions League ban stands and they miss out in the Champions League for 2 seasons, will they keep De Bruyne? Because he'll want to play Champions League football. He'll want to play at the top level, and he is one of the best players that's not mistaken in the world at the minute. So hopefully they'll won't get banned, and he'll stay at the club for the rest of his career, really, because he's that good.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about that, because from what I gathered, the appeal to CAS happened last week, and we're expecting the judgment to be passed in the first week and a half of July. Now, currently it's a 2-year ban, which is a very long time for a player who's effectively in his prime. He's taken away from that. Even if it's 1 year, do you reckon he'll stay?
Yeah, I mean, there's talk about Pep Guardiola as well. Will he stay? Because this is a decision taken out of the players' hands, the manager's hand, the coaching hand. Pep Guardiola, for me, is one of the best managers in the world as well. So I think that's why Manchester City are fighting is so difficult, because Aguero's 33, 34. He'll probably want to move on if they get banned. There's so many question marks over so many players, and of course the manager as well has only got a year left in his contract as well. But for me, De Bruyne, for sure, he is in the peak time of his life, and for me, he'll want to play Champions League football. I have no doubt about that. So I just hope that it gets overturned. I don't know the ins and outs of it. Of course, there's major barristers involved at the minute, as you can imagine, and it's a massive case, and it's a lot of talk here in the media in England, of course. But hopefully they won't get banned. But UEFA 2 years is a big ban, and it's a big comeback for Man City after that.
Yeah, well, we don't have too much time to discuss this in depth, but I also want to bring up the concept of the fact that today they announced the Champions League is going to be returning in August. Manchester City, of course, still in that competition. Do you think perhaps they could be turning an eye to that competition, because they're not going to win the Premier League? I think we can accept that as fact right now. And Liverpool are going to win it sooner rather than later. And when they do, often we hear players say that they're focusing on an international tournament in the summer, of which we're not going to have one this year, or a big transfer move. We saw that. Lee Bowyer's got a bit of an issue concerning one of his star players who doesn't want to play for the club to avoid any injuries. Could that be happening with the players as well?
Well,
Gary?
You look at the game tonight, even De Bruyne,
Shay,
we talk about Laporte. I mean, Pep Guardiola's clearly took them off at 2-0, down to 10 men. He's think this keeps the two of my best players safe. And I'm sure he'll know that Liverpool have won the league. He definitely prepping this team now for the Champions League. It's the only thing he hasn't won since being at Barcelona as a manager. He'll be desperately trying to win that this season. And I'm sure he'll be building up to that, second leg against Real Madrid and hoping to go on and pick up the Champions League. But it's going to take a few games, as I said, in half time to get up to speed. But tonight, Man City game were fantastic in my eyes.
Yeah, and just briefly, Adam, I personally think that Pep Guardiola and Manchester City are looking to finish second in the Premier League, which will assist them with their challenge towards winning the Champions League. I think they can certainly use that to help them. And my prediction as far as this appeal for Manchester City is concerned, this 2-year ban that they've received at the moment, I think in football, when it goes to the next level, there's invariably a compromise. and I can see the ultimate result being it's a 1-year ban for Manchester City. I think De Bruyne could just about live with that as well. And so if it goes to a 1-year ban, he'll stay at the club. Pep will stay there. And, things won't be maybe quite as bad as City fans were thinking it could be.